Hi everybody! I thought I would check in with all of you. I read financial news every day, and on my way actually to work, I listened to another story this morning that I thought was really interesting. All of us like to travel. In fact, we know that travel is generally very good for us in terms of giving us a chance to recharge, that reduces stress. But interesting enough, the story that I heard this morning suggested that millennials now like to pick their vacations based on how Instagram worthy the location is. So it's not even so much of that they look for culture or restaurants or things like that. The number one goal for millennials when picking a vacation is how Instagram friendly it is, which, as you can imagine, can sometimes really put havoc on your budget. In fact, that's what the new study showed, that because millennials were so focused on having that sort of lifestyle and investing in sort of those experiences, and instead not spending this money on things like, let's say, a home or buying a car, is causing a lot of financial stress and causing many millennials to get into debt. How much do you travel and how much do you spend for your travel? Well, if you're like many of us, you're working all the time, you do feel like now and then you need to have some balance and you need to get away. So I'm here to kind of share with you some tips that actually we received from our most recent Winnie Son tweet chat on just how to make your wallet stretch a little farther when you travel. So Americans, we know, spend about $100 billion in summer vacations just last year. And 74% of people said that they actually went into debt for paying a vacation. I don't know if you're one of those people, but the average debt that they would incur was about $1,000, a little bit over $1,000 for one vacation. So we definitely don't want to get in that situation. First thing I do is to put together a budget. Now, it doesn't have to be some formal budget, it doesn't have to be like overly thought out, but there should be a plan of attack. And so a lot of people use Excel or Google Docs, and that works just fine. What I like to do is I actually like to label my accounts, especially for those of you who are just starting off. I recommend that you set up an account called a vacation account. If you don't want to hassle to going to the bank, you could actually just simply get a box or piggy bank and just label it vacation fund. And you don't actually go on that vacation unless you have enough saved up. You don't exceed the amount that you have saved up for this particular budget. Now, the second tip I have for you is to really be paying attention to your credit cards. First off, prior to you getting to your vacation, if you're one of those people, you pay off your credit cards every single month, like it's automated, then you might want to look at having a travel credit card, because you can use this credit card to pay for your normal things. Like, let's say you're in college and you're paying for books and food while you're on campus. It gives you a chance to kind of record all your expenses, and also at the same time, you're earning points towards travel. It could be an airline card. It could be like a general travel card. Personally, I have a general travel credit card. I love it. I'm just swiping like I normally do for business expenses or personal expenses, and then I'm earning points towards my next vacation. So it's kind of a win-win. Once you go on your vacation, is you want to look and see what those conversion rates may or may not be, and if there are any expenses that you might incur while going to, let's say, someone outside of the United States. And another really quick tip, before you leave for your vacation, you should actually call your credit cards and let them know that you're traveling, just so there's no bad surprises, and making sure that your credit card will go through. The other tip is, of course, to bring at least 2 credit cards in case the first one is denied for some reason and you're in a foreign country. My other financial planning tip to you is actually make copies of the front and backs of each of your credit cards and keep them with someone you trust. For my clients that are going on large vacations, I often recommend that they make copies of their passports, their driver's license, and the fronts and backs of their credit cards that they'll be taking with them, and that they submit them to me, and I will keep them in somewhere very safe for them in their files. So you could do that with someone that you trust, and that's a great way just to make sure you're okay when you travel. Another tip that we received on the chat was to really pay attention to your cell phone usage. In the United States, we can probably, in most cases, depending on your cell phone plan, travel anywhere in the United States and you're gonna be okay. Now, if you go international, that changes everything. And actually, one of my clients who travels all over the world, he's a celebrity hairstylist, he said, you know what, Winnie, I have my regular cell phone at home, and actually I have a separate cell phone that I mostly use for when I travel. He says the reason that is because T-Mobile allows him to have free texting international. So it makes it really convenient for him to still stay in touch with with like people like myself, his accountant, including his employees back here in the United States. So you really want to check up on your cell phone plan before you venture out of state. And this is also important for those of you who take cruises, because as you know, when you're on the middle of the ocean and if you're trying to roam, that cell phone bill can be really, really scary. So it's really important that if you are doing any sort of travel on the ocean, that you make sure that your cell phone is accounted for and that roaming doesn't occur constantly when you're out there. Another tip that they came up with is to obviously travel in off-season periods of time. I know one of my employees is actually taking a trip in a couple months, but he got an incredibly great deal on like 11-day cruise. You just go on off-season and you go to the destinations that you want to, and if you have flexibility, it's a great way to save some money. You can also look for some great deals last minute too. There's a lot of sites out there that do post last minute deals. Now, some of those places that were mentioned on our chat are like, for example, on Twitter, they love National Geographic Travel, they love Travelocity, they love Expedia, the flight deal. Someone mentioned Pizza Motion. I haven't tried it, but sounds great. I'm a big fan of Travelzoo, Secret Flying. A lot of people mentioned Yelp, so you might look at Yelp. The other thing is obviously to sign up for the individual airline emails, because they're always offering sort of these last minute deals or, you know, some special pricing and for like a limited amount of time, maybe 2 or 3 days. And also a lot of airlines are adding additional locations that they're flying to. So if you get in early, this gives you yet another opportunity to book travel at somewhat more of a discount. The other thing is Cheryl in my office, who's sort of the travel guru, she's always told me that some of the best deals come like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So you might want to take a look at those days as well when you're thinking of booking. Another thing that was recommended is once you land at the city that you're at, you can actually just simply pull up sites like Groupon and Living Social to see what local deals are in that area. And even if you're back home, you can actually change the zip code to the location that you'll be going to see if there are any local deals that are be close to the hotel that you're staying at. And you can sometimes save up to 75%. So lastly, something that actually Curtis and I do is we try to go to every city that we go to, we try to find one place that just is so fun for photos that's actually free. And in fact, when we went to Dallas, we took a picture near this gigantic eyeball. Free location, we just went to the side, took a picture, and it was really fun. We've also been to Chicago, we've been in New York, we just find these really interesting, iconic statues or monuments, and you snap a picture. Really will save you a lot of money. That's part of our business travel anyway, so it didn't really cost us extra. But that gives you your Instagram moment right there without actually ruining your wallet. Well, thank you so much. I hope that was helpful for you. Now, you have any other travel tips? I'd love to hear from you. In fact, some of my best ideas actually come from you. So feel free to send me a tweet or message me your best travel tip, and I just might use it for my next video. Now, for other tips and great information, feel free to go to our website at sungroupwp.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel right above and turn on notifications so I can see you again next time.